Okay, so this is the song chosen by Paul Simonon, the song to fill a dance floor from Mr. Blow. So the song is called Groovin' with Mr. Blow, and that was a choice of Paul Simonon. I have run down the corridors. Actually, I made it in really good time, so I'm not out of breath at all. But I am in the studio now that I love the most here at Maida Vale. It's very small, it's very intimate. There's a lot of people in the studio, and it's freezing, so I'm really sorry about the temperature. I apologise.
Out of tune.
Oh, no. I don't think it matters. It's fine. How are you, Paul?
Yeah, very well. Thank you for inviting us all.
Oh, it's nice to have you here, and Gallon as well.
We are very excited to be playing for you tonight.
We're looking forward to it a lot. So tell me about that song, Paul, first of all. That's the song to fill a dance floor.
Yeah, it's sort of one of those, it's like obviously driving beat and bass and the harmonica is that really makes it. It's like it doesn't even need a lyric, it just gives you a really uplifting feeling of presence and attitude. Yeah, it's a real like Northern Soul classic.
Yeah, I'd never heard it before, and then as I was standing here with you in front of me and I was listening to it, I was like, oh, it's all about the bass, of course, there it is.
Well, it's a harmonica as well.
Yeah, I love a harmonica, of course. So, congratulations on the album. How are you feeling about it?
I feel excited now that we've... I said to Gallon, it's like... she said, aren't you excited? I said, well, no, not yet. I will be when I'm actually holding the vinyl record.
Yes.
And now I am.
Okay, now you're happy. What's the vinyl like? I haven't seen a copy myself.
I feel nervited, which is a word that an 8-year-old taught me, which is somebody asked if she was nervous before performance. She was like, no, I'm nervited. I'm like, what is that? Nervous, excited.
That's genius.
Nervited.
I'm going to use that word. So good.
Best word.
So you're going to do a couple of tracks for us right away.
Yeah.
What you can do first?
Room at the Top.
Okay, where do you want people to imagine they are? What do they need to have in their heads? Because this was recorded, I know, in Mallorca, was it?
No.
Oh, not this one.
No, in the roof of my house.
All right, describe the roof of your house then.
House.
Yes, it's haunted.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the room like where you did this?
It hasn't got a window.
Okay, that
Lots
sounds
of
like a studio to me.
And there's a painting with a...
We're going to get our lyrics confused. It's already hard enough, like remembering where all the furniture is in this house.
It's a furniture song, that's what you call it.
The furniture song.
The furniture song. It's called Room at the Top. Okay, off you go.
Doesn't have a window. Walking up the staircase, shadows follow me. There's a painting on the wall that hides behind a curtain. The hand of Chopin plays a melody. Reaching the door, the room at the top. I turn the key. In the back of my mind, I gave up feeling. Voices in my head, whisper in my ear. The painting of the dead man won't release my soul. The hand of Chopin plays a melody. Reaching the door, the room at the top. I turn the key and is calling. The photos of the dead smile across the room. The spider on the corner runs across the ceiling. The hands of Chopin plays a melody. Reaching the door, the room at the top. I turn the key.
enjoying yourself. At one point then, you started smiling and I was like, look at him, he's a man in his element there.
I've got 2 extra strings. I'm used to playing the bass.
And it feels good? You're enjoying the extra strings?
Yeah, I'm enjoying them, yeah.
Good. That was Room at the top, and this is from the album which is called Can We Do Tomorrow Another Day. We should talk around the best of the band because there's a whole lot of people in here, as I mentioned. On keys here, do you want to do the introduction? Who wants to say?
Dan,
Dan.
you can introduce yourself.
You got a microphone, Dan.
It's Dan Donovan.
Okay, I was very tempted to join in. You're very close to me, so I was like, oh, maybe I
Oh,
should
well,
just
you're
join.
welcome to, if
No,
you
but it would
want.
be disastrous. That would be a terrible
I
thing.
don't know, it might be good.
No, it really wouldn't be good. But you did very well. It was very impressive.
Thank you.
That's all right. Who else is here?
And we have Leo Williams on bass department.
Coolest
and,
man in the room, I think, is
and-
official.
Simon Tong on guitar.
Simon over there. Hi, Simon.
And Jeremy is kindly stepping in for us and holding it all together.
Yes, Jeremy Stacey.
He was also looking like he really enjoyed himself. I think Jeremy's nodding. Yes, he was. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, ready to do the next track?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, tell us about the next one.
The next song is called Hacia Arriba, and it's one of the tracks in the album that's in Spanish.
Desaparecer, voy a la luna, no quiero volver, jugando ajedrez, vestido negro, soy mi reina y descarta bailaré, con mi cara contra el viento, no me arrepiento.
not even going to attempt the pronunciation of that because you did it so well before. So, Gallen, would you just say what that song was called?
Hacia arriba.
Very nice, thank you. And when you weren't singing, you were playing...
Melodica.
It was the melodica, okay,
Yes,
very
it
nice.
is.
Yeah. Fantastic. This is from the new album, which is Can We Do Tomorrow Another Day. Was Damon playing the melodica on that recording
was,
of this? Damon
yeah.
Albarn,
He
right,
was,
okay.
yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. But he's busy tonight.
He's busy.
Okay. And
I'm
you
trying
did
to
it
stand
amazingly
in.
well. No, but you did it incredibly well.
I'm just learning, but I'll get there. I love it. It's a very, very fun instrument to play.
Oh, well, you played well and you sang beautifully. We'll
Thank you.
chat more. We're going to play another track now, Bo. And this is a song to dance to that you've chosen. Tell us what this is.
This is Respect by Aretha Franklin.
Because?
Well, I just love seeing how the chicks and the guys interact when they're dancing to the song. It's a good vibe.
We shall play it then.
Okay.
Aretha Franklin, and that was Respect, and that was Gallen's song to dance or to fill a dance floor. I'm happy now. I've got a copy of the vinyl in my hands right here, right now. Look, and pink vinyl, exclusive pink vinyl.
Wow, awesome! You got
Okay,
a
did
pink
you?
one.
Yes, are there different colours?
Yes, there's a white one.
Okay,
Two, I think. Yeah.
two different colours.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, fine. No, it's really nice. And the artwork on the front, Paul, did you have a hand in that, or?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's your own work?
Yeah, I did, yeah, all my own work.
Very nice. And that is you and Gallen, I presume.
Well, it could be.
Yeah.
But you-
and the dogs.
Yeah,
Your
my
dogs.
dogs.
Your dogs. What have you got? What are your dogs?
English toy terriers.
English what?
Toy terriers.
Toy terriers. Okay, what are they
Yes.
called?
Snoop and Peanut.
Okay, gotcha. Tell us about the album, where this came, how it all came to be.
Well, it's I was in Mallorca. Gallen was in Hydra. I got back to London, and I was told that Gallen was in town. We met up, and we had a conversation. And really, I sort of played her a few songs that I had, and Gallen played me a
Yep.
few ideas, and then we sat down and came up with more songs together. Really, and the whole project really was sort of hanging by a thread because, like, you know, it's like trying to get everybody into the studio because there's specific people I really wanted to play on the record.
Like
some
who?
of them were on tour. Well, Simon Tong, for example,
Yeah.
my favourite guitarist in the world.
Oh,
Well, it's true. Anyway, but
Simon,
So
Simon
yeah,
was
it
in
was
the
kind
Verve.
of a
I know you from the
three-part
Verve,
thing
obviously.
where Paul had some songs, I had some songs, and then we started writing together and but it was a very democratic process in the fact that we were very open to looking at all the songs and the arrangements, and
Yeah.
it's only really a year long, the whole project that we started.
yeah,
it.
the main thing was just be totally honest
Yeah.
with each other, and if you don't
and
like
do
that-
different things,
Yeah.
not stay in the wheelhouse of things we've done before.
Definitely, it's very different and out of step with
Thank you,
the
yeah.
majority of stuff that's going on at the moment. So, how would you describe it to people? The mood and the feel of this record.
Continental.
Eclectic.
So, hang on, Paul said continental. What did you say, Gallen?
Eclectic.
Eclectic. I think both
I think
of those.
if they were breakfasts, mine would sound more interesting.
It's breakfast. What, snap, crackle,
Crackle and pop.
Continental or eclectic? It's
Fair enough.
eclectic.
And
Continental.
the things that you are writing about, what's the subject matter on these songs?
It's varied.
Yeah, it's varied. It
Yeah.
could be about second homes. It can be about people drowning at sea.
There's a sea shanty on here, or sea shanty?
There's a sea shanty on it, which is like comments about life in Spain, history, Germans and English getting sloshed in Magaluf. It's a whole varied. It's a bit of a history lesson, actually.
People need to listen to it to get the feel of it and understand what it's all about.
Would help.
And I would say the learning curve in writing the Spanish songs is you do, or at least I found myself, there's certain things that you just wouldn't say in the English language that you can play around with more in the Spanish language, especially when you're singing it, like the tonality of the vocals and everything. It's a different way of approaching the songwriting.
And you're fluent in Spanish, you...
Sometimes.
See,
I'm trying to be fluent in English sometimes. too.
Yeah,
it
likewise.
was my first language, but I think probably now English has taken over.
Okay. You're going to do another track for us now, live, and we're going back quite a long way for you, Paul.
Yes,
So
1877.
was it? Well, I was there as well at the same time.
No, you wasn't.
No, you were one of the first gigs that I went to, though, when I was getting into music, when I very first started out. I saw you at Birmingham Bingley Hall.
Bingley Hall, yes.
Yeah, and honestly, that was like a very, very important moment in my life and getting into music, seeing you there.
Did we have the Coventry Specials we was on that show?
No, you didn't. Well, I missed
Or
them.
maybe it's the Slits.
I didn't get there for the support band. I just got there, got there just in time to see you on stage. God, I wish I had seen the Coventry Specials, all the Slits.
Yeah.
Is that who was supporting you at that time?
Most likely one or the other, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So the song that you're going to do is one that you wrote. Can you just tell us about this?
Yeah, it's called The Guns of Brixton, and it's about paranoia.
Oh, God, that old one. Oh,
Yes, I'm sorry.
That old.
I'll wheel that one out on its old wheels.
It's about what? Sorry, paranoia?
Yeah,
you say?
it's about paranoia and police intimidation on where I lived. Not really towards me, but more towards my black friends.
Okay. When I mentioned that I saw you on that tour, and what do you feel when you think back to those days of playing those shows?
Well, I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did, because we used to sort of row quite frequently. Well, me and Mick did. Me and Joe never had an argument, but
Didn't you?
no, but it was always a tense moment. I mean, yeah, we was on a mission, put it that way.
Yeah. What
And
age were you?
I think it was 19 or 20 or
So
something.
young. I mean, really young to be making music and to be in the eye of that storm.
Well, it was probably, well, as far as I was concerned, I was a bit late because like the Bay City Rollers were all like 15 and they knew how to play guitars and stuff like that.
And you didn't actually know how to play bass, did you, when you first joined the band? Or?
No, Mick Jones taught me, and then I started to listen to a lot of the music I grew up to, which was Jamaican music, because I could hear the bass, and I just practiced along with the heptones.
I listened to something today, and you said that you actually wrote the chords on the bass, one of the basses, when you first started.
Yes, I wrote the notes.
The notes.
It's what Mick Jones called the Paul Simonon School of Music.
They were actually written there, so you knew what to do.
Well, Mick would yell out a note, and I know where to go. Quite straightforward. But it was somebody did say that it was an interesting way of doing it, because it inspired lots of other people that it is possible. So it was like a bridge that, just get a bass and paint the right notes on it, and you're away.
All right, let's hear it then. So this is, and Gallon, you're in this as well, yeah?
I'm gonna do my best.
Okay, it's Gallon and Paul.
When they kick at your front door, how you gonna come with your hands on your head on the trigger of your gun? When the law breaks in, how you gonna go? Shut down on the pavement or waiting in depot. You can crush us, can bruise us, but you'll have to answer to. Oh, Guns of Brixton. The money feels good and your life you like it well, but surely a time will come, as in heaven as in hell. You see, he flows like Ivan, born under the Brixton sun. His game is called surviving. At the end of a holiday come, you know it means no mercy. They caught him with a gun. No need for a Black Mariah. Goodbye to the Brixton sun. You can crush us, can bruise us, but you'll have to answer to. Oh, Guns of Brixton. crush us, you can bruise us, but you'll have to answer to. Oh, Guns of Brixton. You can crush us, you can bruise us, but you'll have to answer to. Oh, Guns of Brixton. Crush us, you can bruise us, but you'll have to answer to. Oh, Guns of Brixton. You can crush us, you can bruise us, but you'll have to answer to. Oh, Guns of Brixton. Oh, Guns of Brixton. Oh, Guns of Brixton.
Guns of Brixton, you have no idea what it meant to me for you doing this on the show. Thank you so much, honestly. God, if the 16-year-old me knew that I'd be standing here today watching that happen on my show, honestly, blew my mind. Thank you so much, I can't tell you. You happy with it? Happy with the performance? Went all right, didn't it, Paul?
Yeah, no, went all right.
Yeah, you enjoyed it?
No, good,
yeah, nods all round. OK, this is good.
Yeah, a bit of jazz is good.
Yeah, that's what Jamie Cullum says. Right, we'll play you a song from your childhood. Now, you chose The Upsetters, I think.
Yeah, I was actually going to choose Strawberry Fields by Anthony Newley, but then really when I was a teenager it was like the sort of the beginnings of the skinhead movement, which was very pro-black music. It's an offshoot of the mod movement, and I didn't have a record player, but a friend did, and he said, oh, this tune's come out, let's go and listen to it. And it was Lee Perry, who I'd call the sort of Morricone of Jamaican music.
That's a good phrase, all right.
That is a good phrase.
We'll play it. This is The Upsetters. This is Return of Django. Return of Django, and that's The Upsetters, and that's the childhood song of Paul Simonon. You say you didn't have a record player. Where were you listening to music? Where did you find your music?
Well, it was usually at friends' house. Or friends, because I went to school in Brixton, a place called Effra Junior School, off the Relton Road, and I used to nip round the corner to stay at friends, just listen to music, and they had a lot of interesting music that I never heard in my life. It was sort of, I remember like names like Prince Buster, but most are sort of unknown to me. But then my friends would come home to our house, and my dad would play Francois Hardy or something like that.
Yeah. Of
course. So it's sort of quite open-minded, really, as a kid.
Yeah, and what about seeing bands live? Do you remember who you saw live early on?
The first person I ever saw live was at Brixton Historia for Saturday Morning Pictures, and the maitre d' came and I said, right, boys and girls, I've got a special surprise for you. We've got a special guest, and it was Sandy Shaw.
Oh, wow, gosh, that's good.
And she was going on about that she didn't have any shoes on.
Oh,
and I'm just looking at you right now.
I never wear shoes when I do radio.
And that was the first concert I ever saw.
Oh, wow. And she was good?
No, she's brilliant, yeah.
Yeah.
But we did want to see our films too. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
I remember the
sequel, you
Saturday
said.
morning picture show. Yeah, a sequel.
Well, it was just like Flash Gordon was one of them, and you went to see the following week to see what happened. That's how they got you back.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. Galen, what about you? First band that you saw live? Who were the first artists?
Well, I mean, I guess it was my dad.
Yeah, so your dad, if you can just tell people
So
who your
yeah,
dad...
so my dad was Kevin Ayres, former bass player and songwriter in Soft Machine, and then he went on to do his own solo work. So I think, I mean, a normal day at home would be kind of Kevin and Mike Caulfield and all his buddies and Ollie Hassel, and kind of just all jamming for hours and hours and hours and hours.
So was...
On one chord.
And did you hate it? Were you
Well,
just
I
like,
remember
oh,
at one
gosh.
point, like, understanding chord changes and being like, you could change, you know, you
bit
could go.
sooner.
Yeah, you could go a bit sooner.
Going on a little bit now.
We have a very progressive punk divide here.
Yeah,
where
so from
we-
prog rock to punk, and you've joined together.
Oh, don't. Well, we're working well together.
Yeah. And
So, yeah.
when do people get to see you live? When are the dates at all?
The first concert is at the Tabernacle here in West London on the 7th of June in London. And then Paris
And then we got one in Paris.
on the 11th.
And yeah, we want to do more, but it's like the cost these days of travelling with equipment and people, especially the way things are with our relationship with continental Europe, makes it a bit awkward.
I know, it's all so much more complex these days, isn't it?
It really is. The margins are so difficult, especially for venues and bands to kind of make it work.
Yeah, just to try and make a living to it. It's very, very frustrating.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah. So hopefully gigs will come. Festivals? Are you a festival kind of band? Would you be able to play there? No. Look at the wrinkling of the nose. No, that's not happening.
If I can get airlift, well, I don't want to be airlifted out, but I mean, I don't want to sleep in a blooming tent.
Have you ever been to a festival?
That's not very punk.
Well, it is actually. Socks, punks like clean socks. You didn't realise that.
What are you saying? That
Well, yeah.
Well,
What are
yeah.
you implying?
Well, Strummer tried to get me to go to Glastonbury for years. I said, "Listen, mate, you have your hippie festival. I prefer Notting Hill Carnival." And then Damon phoned me up and said, "Oh, this is years later, obviously, with the Gorillaz." He said, "Oh, you two have dropped out because Bono has hurt his finger or something. I don't know." And then I said, "What?" He said, "No, he's dropped out, so we're headlining." I said, "Oh, no." He said, No, but Paul, but think of the bigger picture." I went, "Yes, I am." And I finally got there, and just before I went on stage, I looked up at the stars and went, "There you go, Strummer, I'm bloody here."
And how was it for you? When did you leave? How quickly, when you got off stage, did you leave?
Well, I couldn't leave because you're trapped there.
True.
It's like I think we sort of hiked a few
like a very
days,
small
but we was going
area.
in the wrong direction.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed being on the stage with Damon
With
and
Gorillaz,
everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, the Gorillaz, are brilliant. And but no,
You're
sorry,
not- you-
it's I like. I won't say what I was going to say, but
Yeah. You like your
I-
comfort. You like white socks.
clean socks.
Clean socks.
No, it's not liking my comforts. It's just that musically, I find the carnival more
Yeah.
my style.
Fine. Let's play another track. And this is, Galen, we asked you for one from your childhood. And you've gone for Harry Belafonte.
Yeah, the Deo, or it's called a banana boat too.
That's
I
right.
think is another word for
Yeah, okay. Any reason why? Where does this take you back to?
It takes me back to my childhood. For some reason, there were like lots of banana themed things. There were like banana shakers, banana
In your home?
artwork. Yes, it was banana pens. There was just lots of, and banana instead of actual words. When people were doing backing vocals, people used to sing banana a lot.
Do you have any idea where this came from?
I don't know. And it drove me bananas. But I remember this song from everybody would sing this in the bars in Dea, where I grew up in Mallorca.
All right.
It's good that you chose Belafonte because he was quite an important person. He was very conscious.
He was, yeah.
Absolutely.
Of-
And we just
of
lost him recently, so
way
he was
people
fresh
treated
in my
other
mind.
people.
Yeah. Very
No,
important
he
figure.
Definitely.
All right. We shall play him then. Harry
Super
Belafonte.
special. Thank you.
Deo, Harry Belafonte. Beautiful music choices. Thank you, both of you, tonight on the show. It's been very lovely. Tim in Somerset, what a beautiful show. Absolutely loving this. Someone else saying how much they're loving it. Steve Bone, fabulous session. Great choices of other songs too. Mike Critchley, I just simply don't want the show to end. This is just so good. Paul Hughes, looking forward to seeing Gallen and Paul in London next month. So that's a Tabernacle gig. When was that? The 7th of June, did you say?
7th of June, yeah.
Okay, Tabernacle in London, West London on the 7th of June. We do a thing called Up Close and Personal. So just a few random questions. What would you say is your job title? Gallen, you can go first. Job title.
Word magician today. I don't know.
Word magician. Like it, that's good. Paul.
Entertainer.
Nice. What was your first job, Paul?
First job,
Yeah.
working down Portobello Market,
On doing what?
selling candles in the shape of hands.
Oh, really? They still do that, I think. In the shape of hand. Well,
Well, the guy I worked for, he used to pour wax into rubber gloves and pull the wicks through.
Yeah.
And then he'd go off to the pub with his mate and leave me on the stool, which is quite good, actually, because I doubled the price of the candles.
that's a good way to make money. Good place to be as well, Portobello Road. I can imagine when you're young. God.
Yeah, it was like the whole world was passing through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But wintertime it was a bit hideous because you had to stand in the cardboard box to insulate your feet.
Oh, no.
There's like one person walking up and down. It's like, right, we're not going to make nothing here.
Fingerless glove. Maybe just gloves, full stop, just to keep you going. Next question. Oh, no, your first job, Gallen.
Stealing flowers from neighbours to do the bouquets at my dad's dinner parties. I was in charge. And then I graduated to actually being a florist in hotels and my summer job, which I loved. The colours and the smells and the composition. It was
Yeah, well, extremely
the only thing
creative.
I didn't love was having to get up at 5 a.m. on a Saturday.
And thieving.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Well, you had two
Good point.
choices there. You could have been a thief.
I could have been a thief.
Do you have any tattoos, either of you?
That was the one thing I promised my dad I'd never do in my life. It's the only thing I wasn't allowed to do was to have tattoos, so I guess. So far, no.
Okay, for your dad. And Paul?
You?
I've got Daffy Duck on my foot. No, I'm joking.
Oh, my God. I'm so relieved.
No, I've got an anchor on my wrist, and Damon's got one. Everybody in Gorillaz has got the same thing.
Oh, nice.
It says, das...
Does it? You're not going to swear, are you?
No,
Okay.
this is a German word. It's called the art. It's das Kunst.
Okay.
And but it's blurred a bit now, and so I think everybody says Dad Kunst.
Right. What hobbies do you have outside of making music? What are the things that you do that take up much of your time? Gallen?
I like foraging. I like cooking. I like reading. I love psychology. I love studying psychology.
When you say foraging, what are you getting? What do you go and forage
What am I getting? So I live in Greece most of the time, and I forage for all the greens. You know, the nettles, the cleavers, things like that,
Yeah.
and all the herbs. And I'm a pescatarian, but most of the time I'm vegetarian. So I'm always trying to find ways to make those taste a bit more interesting. You know.
Very nice. And Paul?
Collecting people's wallets. No, no, seriously. I love cooking.
Oh, you do? Oh,
Yeah,
right.
I used to hop off school a lot when I was a kid, and then after Rainbow was finished, which is a kids' TV program, then all the cookery programs came on, and I was thinking, well, I'm really starving now. It's like 1 o'clock, and they're looking. The larger it'd be like one egg, like some flour, and I started learning to make cakes, and I graduated from there. So I learned how to feed myself.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I remember Rainbow.
I've gone beyond that, by the way.
By a long way. Okay. So do you entertain? Do you have people around?
I do actually.
Oh,
yeah,
good cook.
And for somebody without a sense of smell, I was told.
Yeah, and he
that
never burns anything.
I have a
Never
good,
burns garlic, nothing.
Good touch.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why
you
have you never had a sense of smell?
Never since I was a baby.
Oh, wow.
It's probably dropped
Okay.
out the window.
You were dropped. Right, let's play another song and we'll talk a bit more. Let's play, we'll do, Paul, you'll do your choice, childhood. The last song that you would ever like to hear as you exit planet Earth.
I really like Elton John, but I'm not going to... He's a really nice person, so I'm not going to choose Rocket Man, but I think David Bowie, Space Oddity. I've got this album and it's all early songs that he writes about the little bombardier, maids of Bond Street. It's like really Decca, I think it was on. I love that album, but Space Oddity is my choice.
Lovely.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Space Oddity, David Bowie, of course, and that was a choice of Paul Simonon. Now, I really want to know why and how well you know Elton John, but I don't know whether you can say that in 10 seconds, Paul.
He's just a very generous person.
OK, what's he done for you?
Invited me to a charity event.
Oh,
That
nice.
was for AIDS.
OK, that's all I need to know. Galen, we're going to end with your song tonight that you've chosen for the last song you would like to listen to as you exit planet Earth. What would you choose?
I chose As Time Goes By, the original from the film Casablanca. I just think, for me, it has everything. It has this beautiful prosody of the melody is amazing, the bittersweetness of it, the actual image and the story, and it just talks about impermanence, which is what I would be thinking about.
At that particular point.
Exactly.
All of you in the room, thank you so much for playing
Thank
tonight.
you
I
so
really,
much,
really
Jo.
appreciate it. It's been a great session. Really, really love it. And we'll end tonight with this. This is Dooley Wilson, As Time Goes By.
You must remember this, a kiss is just...
From the film Casablanca, that was Dooley Wilson and As Time Goes By. What a perfect song to end this wonderful session tonight, Galen. Thank you so much. Paul Simonon, thank you as well.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
That's okay. It's been really nice. I've really enjoyed every single second.
Yay, likewise.
The album is called Can We Do Tomorrow Another Day, and it's out on Friday.